watching KWQC TV, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, battling gym-timidation, or the anxiety you feel when embarking on that 2025 fitness goal. The YMCA is here with tips to get past it.
Plus, the one-stop shop advantage of hiring Mississippi Valley Metals for your next project. How the business works closely with clients to design and deliver solutions.
And later, what's on the calendar at the Putnam Museum and Science Center. We'll talk more about History on Tap and preview some of the movies playing this month on the giant screen. It is Monday, January 13th, and you're watching Quad Cities Live. Thanks for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. It is Monday, so that means it is time to meet one of our adoptable four-legged friends. And joining us now from the Rock Island County Animal Shelter is Sam Wiley. Sam, thanks as always for coming. And
thanks for having us.
Thank you for bringing our furry four-legged friend. We got a sweetie here this week.
Really?
We're gonna meet Peanut.
This is Peanut. Oh, look, you got up.
Yes.
He's ready for the camera.
The camera's turned on, and
Yes.
Peanut just got excited about it. So tell us a little bit about Peanut.
So Peanut is about four months old, roughly. Little boy. He is fixed, microchipped, age-appropriate shots, and ready to go find his forever home.
He's so sweet.
Yes.
He's so soft. Talk a little bit about his personality.
He is so mellow.
Very mellow,
Literally,
we
he
can
was
tell.
laying on my lap before this
Yes.
started.
And for a kitten, too.
I know.
It's pretty good for 4 or 5 months old.
Yeah.
And he's got a little bit of white under his neck, which just adds to his cuteness.
Does.
Yes, he's very sweet, beautiful
Yeah.
eyes. So talk a little bit about the county shelter, QC Paws. Just roughly, how many dogs, cats you have for people that have never visited the shelter.
Got it. We're actually a little down on our numbers, which is so refreshing to say
great.
once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, not crazy, but we're probably looking at about 350 animals.
Oh, wow. That's
So-
still
Still a lot.
quite a few.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's kind of our slower time, which we haven't had that for probably the last 4 years. So
Really? Well, I was looking at your Facebook page too earlier today, and you had a few adoptions of both cats and dogs over the weekend, and I love that when you update. I
Yeah.
think that's such a cool thing to do. If
For
you
sure.
just peruse the Facebook page, they'll kind of say like, these dogs were adopted and these cats were adopted. It's just very
Right.
a happy thing.
Right.
And maybe that'll motivate someone else to get out there and
adopt.
adopt. That's
Come
for sure.
adopt.
So
Definite.
obviously with 350 animals,
Right.
a lot of work goes into caring for these animals, whether it's walking them, bathing them, etc. So
Right.
you need volunteers for that.
we do, and our orientation is coming up this Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, you were talking about the gym. Come walk a dog.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
is a resolution,
Yes.
give back in some way, and that is such a great way to give
Yeah,
back
for
your
sure.
time and energy. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what happens at that orientation. We have the info on the screen right now for anyone who might be interested.
So yes, come to our orientation. We'll go over all of the rules and what we need you to do, and show you which doors to use, which leashes to use. We don't walk the cats. but,
Okay.
spending some time holding Peanut
Even
on
though
your
some
lap
people
is,
do, I see it.
Yeah, I do. I do see some people walking cats. So what are some of the different jobs that a volunteer might take on beyond like walking a dog?
Yeah.
So we ask the volunteers to come in and love them. I mean, we have a small staff, so our job is to take care of cleaning their kennels, cleaning their litter pans, things of that nature, keeping up with their medical needs. We need people to love them.
Yeah.
We need people to come in, spend some time, walk them, hold them.
That sounds easy.
Yeah,
easy
it's
enough.
so easy. Brush them, anything. It just, every little bit helps.
Yes.
Makes them a better pet.
Of course, and the same goes for funding as
Yes,
well. So
very good.
you're going to talk about something really fun coming up next month, which is your annual trivia night.
Yes.
So I've already seen some info about that posted to your events on your Facebook page. But talk a little bit about this. Have you been doing this for a number of years now?
We kind of go back and forth between different events.
Okay.
Trivia seems to be a popular one
Yes.
for everyone.
Always, yeah.
It's not my cup of tea, but I definitely will work it.
If I
so
can
I
Yeah,
don't
there
have
you
to
go.
play
get
it.
one answer right on my team, if I can get you one answer the full
Right.
night, I've done my job.
I always say I'm in charge of the food. I'll bring
Hey,
food.
there you go, there you go.
There you go. That's what
All
I'm
for
going
good
to do.
cause.
But
Okay, so tell us about it. It is at the Stern
At the-
Center,
yeah.
Friday, February 21st.
correct. Doors open at 5:30. It's a team of 8 people, and it's $80 for the whole team.
Okay.
We'll have raffles. There will be, you can purchase drinks from the cash bar, and you can bring your own food into the event.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Yep,
always perfect. I love when, you know, your table brings the pizzas, you know.
Yeah.
I love that when we do that. So talk a little bit about where the proceeds from an event like this would go.
Yep. So they go to things such as the Angel Fund. So let's say little Peanut here got sick, or something happened to him when he came in and we needed extra vet care. It helps us pay those bills.
Yeah.
It helps for, like I said, medicines for the animals. And it helps us when we do low-cost adoptions. Like right now we're offering adoptions on their weight.
Oh,
So
wow.
depending on how much they weigh
Sure.
is what you pay. And if they're
That's
100,
cool.
we subtract from that your age.
Oh my gosh.
What a
to make
deep
it fun.
formula. I like
I
that.
know,
I
it's
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
great.
That is such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, so if we can't make it out to the event next month, but we still want to donate, we still want to give our time, what are the types of donations that you take year-round?
We take blankets, we take newspapers, we take bleach. Bleach is huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Litter,
things clean,
obviously.
yeah.
We probably have, you know, the market on the sales of litter in the Quad Cities. We take food. We try to stick with Purina because
Okay.
it's pretty easy on the bellies for the
Sure,
babies.
yeah.
Keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, as consistent as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But like right now, we have a bunch that are on sensitive just because they have some stomach issues.
Okay.
So we're always looking for donations like that.
Okay, good to know.
All right, well, QC Paws is part of Rock Island County Animal Care and Control. It's located on 78th Avenue in Moline, so we have the address and phone number on your screen. If you want to learn more about the services, adopt any pet, including Peanut, or if you want to donate, you can visit qcpaws.org. You can also check out their Facebook page where they're showing
Lots
all
of
of their
events.
adoptable animals, all the events coming up. So, yeah, you can check them out on Facebook as well.
Yes, Sam and
thank
Peanut.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for being
We
here
appreciate
today.
it.
Yes, thank you. Still to come on QCL, whether your New Year's resolution is fitness related or not, there are a variety of benefits in having a gym membership. We'll learn more about what the YMCA of the Iowa Mississippi Valley has to offer next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Whether it is weight loss or strength building, it's a new year, and a lot of people are starting a new fitness journey. Joining us now from the YMCA of the Iowa Mississippi Valley is Taylor Bly and Morgan Meskey. Thank you both for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you because I think you're one of the first folks we've had in here since the new year that can really speak to everything going on in the gym right now, and that goes for pretty much every gym. So Morgan, we do have a lot of options in the area when it comes to fitness facilities and gyms, but kind of talk a little bit about what sets the YMCA apart from some of those other spaces.
So our gyms are more like community, and we offer everything for families, you know, adults and kids. You know, we've got the group fitness classes, but also those with families. We have, you know, summer camp, we've got swim lessons, gymnastics, we've got ninja.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to offer for everyone. And I think that's what really sets us apart, is having so many amenities for the full family. So
Yeah, I think that family aspect is absolutely huge. You know, when you take a look at all of that, maybe you are just going for yourself in this very moment, but when you think of, you know, the entire scope of your life, you have all of these different things, these different avenues and whatnot, and classes and things that you could do. So Taylor, talk a little bit about what you would find in the YMCA that would be a little bit maybe more outside of what you would typically think of as a gym, whether it's just like the weights and the treadmill. You're going to find that everywhere.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. I mean, we have multiple facilities throughout our organization, Bettendorf, Davenport, Eldridge, all the way out in Maquoketa. We've got multiple facilities that we do that for, and each one kind of has its own little personality to it. Each one has weights, treadmills, some things that you would find in a normal gym. One thing that you're not going to find everywhere, we have a ton of group fitness options. We've got over 200 classes. Morgan does a really great job of organizing those for us, and that's the type of thing where I would say 99% of those classes, of like group classes that we run, those are included in your membership.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay anything extra for them. You don't have to reserve your place in them or anything. You can just show up. If you want to do Zumba, you could do Zumba. You could do, what's the
I
weight
love
training
the
one?
body pump.
Body
Yeah,
pump.
I was gonna
That's
say
it.
that is kind of what got me, like, initially when I first moved here, more than 10 years ago now. You know, back in the gym, back in the Y were those classes, those Y classes. I think I did an RPM one, and then the body pump one, which is really cool. So I'm glad that you brought up the group classes and all of that, because there are such a variety to choose from, and you can just go online and read about them and see what might be a good fit for you.
And there's even other different, at Utica Ridge we have a cardio cinema. It's basically a movie theater with cardio machines.
I've heard of this.
If you want to watch a movie and, you know, run or go on the bike, it's right there for you, and it runs every day.
Yeah, that is fabulous. So you talked about the different facilities. When you sign up for a membership, can you use the other facilities? How does that all work?
Yep, so you can use any of the facilities in our association unlimited times per month. It doesn't matter if you sign up at Bittner or Bettendorf or Maquoketa. And then with Nationwide, you can use gyms outside of our association up to 7 times a month.
Wow.
Other YMCAs.
So say you're a member at Two Rivers or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
You can use our facilities up to 7 times a month.
That is pretty cool.
Spring break, if you're out of town. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in Tennessee. I
Yeah.
would stop at one of their Ys.
That's great to know.
I've done it before.
I had no idea. That's amazing. Okay, so for a lot of people who are watching this right now, they may not be super experienced at putting together a workout plan. What kind of options, Morgan, are there for people who kind of don't know where to start?
Sure. Yeah, so when you become a member, you get 2 complimentary MyFit sessions. So you can meet one-on-one with a personal trainer.
Really? Okay.
Yep, and so those first 2 are completely free, so they can show you how to use different machines. If you have specific questions, maybe it's about a class.
Yeah.
Or at our Bittner, Bettendorf, and Utica, we've got the e-gym. And so
Okay.
that's really popular for strength training.
I've seen it.
It takes the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll usually do a consultation with a personal trainer coach who will walk you through how to use the system.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where you've got a workout that can actually adapt to how you're working out.
Right.
As opposed to free weights, you know, it's you against the weights. When you're doing an e-gym, if you're struggling with a set or something, it'll actually take the weight down for you so that you can complete the rep, because
Wow.
that's going to be a lot more fruitful for you.
Yeah,
and a lot more beneficial
and you
for
won't
you.
get hurt. You know,
Exactly.
That's another thing.
Exactly.
Is you want to try to avoid injury. So we started off talking a little bit about gym intimidation, which I love. You guys actually gave me that one. I love that. So what are some of the ways that folks can kind of get through the anxiety of starting at a gym? I mean, I know a lot of people, it's their New Year's resolution to, you know, maybe lose weight and get stronger, but, you know, maybe they haven't even been to the gym yet because there's just that barrier of anxiety.
There's some people who join gyms and get out, they join the gym, join online or something, or maybe they stopped in to get a membership, and they will get out to the parking lot the first time
And then
and
go
wait in
home.
their car and then turn around and go home.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, if this is not something that's part of your normal routine, it's something that's hard to get over sometimes. For us, we really like to create a welcoming environment at the YMCA. We have tons of people who are there to help and walk you through everything.
Absolutely. And you guys, you know, had some notes for us. So forming a habit, I think I've heard this before, takes 21 days. So that's something that, you know, if you can be consistent about it, it can become a habit, and then it just gets that much easier for everybody. Amazing. Okay, so Taylor, for folks who have concerns over the cost of a membership, that's a big one. You know, when you're going over all the different gyms and facilities in the area and comparing prices. So anybody that's worried about it, I know the Y, they really do try and work with people.
Yeah, we have financial assistance programs. It's based on your income. We may ask for, you know, a pay stub or proof of income in order to sort of ascertain. We've got different levels of how much we will work with you on your membership or anything like that. But we actually have a good chunk of our organization who is on some sort of financial assistance while still maintaining some fantastic facilities.
Yeah.
Because for us, you know, price should not stand in the way of a good fitness facility for you to work out, because we want everybody to have the opportunity to be healthy.
Yeah, just really eliminating that barrier for people, which is truly special. Very cool. And there's a new member promotion, I believe, that's underway right now that people can take advantage of.
Yes, we are running right now. It's half off to join.
Wow.
So normally there is a joining fee when you join the YMCA. Right now we're waiving half of the fee that it takes to do that, and that's running until January 20th.
Wonderful news. Okay, well, thank you both. And if you want to check out the various YMCA locations or sign up for a membership, just visit the website on your screen right now, ymcaimv.org. Taylor and Morgan, thank you so much. I'm sure you put a lot of people's minds at ease today, so I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
thank you.
And speaking of New Year's resolutions, what's your plan to make yours last? The Mad Therapy will join us after the break with some helpful advice.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The second Friday in January, which actually would have been last Friday, January 10th, is known as Quitter's Day. That's because many people give up on their New Year's resolutions within the first 2 weeks. Additionally, a 2023 Forbes Health poll found that most people give up on their resolutions after less than 4 months. Alexandra Skinner-Walsh is the owner and founder of the Mad Therapy, a mental health group practice located in Bettendorf. She's been here before, but we want to welcome her back. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me back.
Yes, I'm really excited to kind of get into this with you. You just have some helpful tips and advice for people that have chosen New Year's resolutions or just some type of goal for 2025. Now, before we get into that, let's kind of remind people a little bit about the Mad Therapy, who you are, and your overall mission.
So our overall mission is to create a place where people can feel safe and comfortable exploring difficult topics and really making a difference in their own lives, specifically in the realm of mental health.
Yeah.
We are a group practice of really passionate mental health providers. Recently just brought on more providers to help meet the community needs. So we have openings at this time for those who are ready to really start making a difference in a way that is impactful for them.
Wow, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I know a lot of people will be excited to hear that. You've already made such an impact since you started here in the Quad Cities, and we're going to continue that today. So New Year's resolutions that positively impact your mind. So you kind of came up with a list of roughly, it is 10 things, and they're kind of like categories, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got them on the screen right now, but let's talk about a few of them and why they're so positive.
I think one, it's hard to narrow down what's going to positively impact everyone's mental health because everyone is different.
Yeah.
So some people might be a master at hydrating and fueling their body, but they might really struggle with feeling enough or speaking kindly to themselves. And so what's going to positively impact their mental health is going to look different than somebody who is struggling with, how do I hydrate? How do I just do the basics of fueling my body in a way that makes sense for my body?
Yeah.
And so their goal might be a little different. So if we can take a step back and really look at where are the areas that maybe I'm feeling either the or physiological symptoms of tenseness or jitteriness or on edge, or I'm having those thoughts of, oh, this space or this place is really causing me a lot of stress. That's going to kind of narrow you in on those categories to start thinking about which one's going to be the most impactful for me.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I would feel like maybe a little difficult at the beginning to kind of take a look at yourself or take a look at your life and try and pinpoint those things. But this is a really good place to start. I mean, just looking at this list, you may go volunteering and giving back. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great resolution, a great goal for 2025. But I think unless you really take a look at yourself and go, that's not really anything that I have done, in the last 5 to 10 years or ever, and being super honest with yourself, I think that's a really good way to narrow down something that might be good for you and more fulfilling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So making them last, which is one thing that we really wanted to talk about today. And you have 5 different tips, pieces of advice. The first one, writing this down and telling a support person. This is huge because a lot of people will say on December 31st, my New Year's resolution is this, but you're like, no, you got to put it somewhere.
Yeah, hold yourself accountable to some place or somewhere and get that encouragement from other people, because let's be honest, you're going to fall off the wagon. It's inevitable, right? You're not going to walk through this whole year never having a hard day or never having a tough moment or always being in alignment with your goal. And so being able to have it somewhere or with somebody that can say, hey, I know this was a rough one. I know today was hard, but tomorrow's a new day. Let's try again.
Yeah.
Is going to be really helpful helping you get back up.
Yeah, that is huge. And somebody who can just kind of check in with you as well if you tell that support person, making sure as well that they are a supportive person that you're sharing that with. Okay, breaking down your large goal into smaller goals. So what would be an example of that, or how would that work?
I think this is one, if you have to pick one of these ones to really focus on, I think this is your key one.
Really? Okay.
Because when we look at these goals that people are setting for the year, they're setting them for the year, which means they're setting these big goals that they're hoping to accomplish by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's a long time. And so we're not reaching those goals tomorrow or in a week. And so for a lot of people, that's where we lose the motivation.
Yes. Yeah, the one that I think of so often is fitness related or weight loss. And it's like, I can't do this. And it's like, well, it's only been a couple of weeks. And yeah, so I think breaking it down into smaller goals, that's a good one. Being flexible, you already touched on this, and just keeping at it when you inevitably get off track. And I like that you include the word inevitably there, because nobody is perfect.
No, you're going to fall off. And life has a way of getting in the way.
Yes.
And so sometimes your goals might have to adapt and ebb and flow a little bit to get you to that larger goal.
Yes.
And so being able to be flexible with that, so that way you know that we don't have to just throw it all away.
Absolutely.
Is going to help you keep going.
Okay, celebrating your wins. And I like how that kind of goes with being kind, compassionate, and gentle with yourself. So that is the last two on this list of making them last. You have to celebrate yourself. A lot of people are way too hard on themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the motivation, right? Like if we're constantly feeling like I'm not good enough, I can't do this, we're going to give up.
Yeah.
Right? But if we're able to step back and say, I'm really proud of myself in this moment because I ate an extra vegetable today.
Right.
And that is a smaller goal on the way to my bigger goal. And that's something I can measure and be proud of and celebrate. And then by the end of the year, I can look back and say all those little things and all those little wins I celebrate, they all added up to get me here.
Yes, that's great. That's actually my 6-year-old's New Year's resolution that we gave her, was eat more vegetables. So, and before we let you go, I love the last bit of information that you provided. Before we change, we have to accept who we are as we are. So being okay with yourself as an individual, what change we want and or need, the impact of not changing, which is my favorite one, is taking a look at what life would be like if you didn't take these steps, and the messy process. So the fact that you have to kind of try and be consistent through all of it.
Absolutely. A lot of people will look at that change and go, I just want to change.
Yeah.
But we don't take a step back to go, well, we have to accept first, which can feel very in conflict with that. But in order to change, we have to accept. We have to be okay with where we're at, honor where we're at, recognize the impacts of changing and not changing, and being able to figure out how we move forward with that acceptance in mind.
Wonderful information. The Mad Therapy is located on Kimberly Road in Bettendorf. We have the address and the phone number on your screen, and you can learn more about the practice by visiting the website, themadtherapy.com. You can also follow along on Facebook. As always, Alexandra, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we appreciate you, and we've got much more to come in our next half hour, including a family-owned metal manufacturing business based in Maquoketa called Mississippi Valley Metals. And later we'll check in with the Putnam Museum and Science Center and learn more about some of the programs this month geared toward adults. We're also looking at another first alert day for dangerously cold temperatures overnight into Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Kyle Keel will break it all down for us after the break.
And now your first alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, we all know looks can be deceiving, and that's exactly what's happening with our weather today, because you look out your window, it looks fairly nice with all the sunshine on our Everywhere Camera network. However, it is very cold, and as you can see from our Bettendorf camera, the American flag flapping in the wind. It's been a bit breezy today, and that has really added to the frigid chill in the air today. And our temperatures have managed to make it to 20 degrees or warmer here to the south. I use warmer very loosely. It's 24 right now in Burlington, 23 in Mount Pleasant and Galesburg, 19 in Rock Falls and Davenport, 17 in Galena. You factor in that wind, it feels like 4 above in Galena as well as in Clinton, 5 in Davenport, and we'll probably slice 10 to 15 degrees on these feels-like temperatures here as we head into the overnight hours. So we're also tracking a little light snow as well. I saw a post on Facebook. Someone was asking, why is Moline pre-treating the road when no snow's in the forecast? Well, we do have a little snow, and it's coming from this little clipper right here in the Dakotas. It's going to continue to track off to the south and east, but notice it's not a lot of snow. It's not going to be heavy snow, but it's going to be enough to create some slick travel. So again, because of the dangerously cold wind chills in that little bit of snow, we have a first alert day that goes until 10 a.m. Tuesday, and we could see those wind chills down to about 15 below zero. So I think any impacts on the roads, likely from the Quad Cities points to the south, but all of us will be dealing with dangerous cold. This is a situation where exposed skin could get frostbite within 20 minutes or less. So just be smart here in this cold weather. As we look at ExactTrack, we'll time out the snow for you. We'll have those west winds continue here as we head into the overnight. It's after midnight that the clouds quickly move in and thicken, and then by about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to see this swath of snow move into our western hometowns. This will continue to track eastward here as we head through the overnight and pre-dawn hours. Here we are at 5 a.m. Likely snow coming to an end around Clinton, the Quad Cities, down toward Muscatine and Mount Pleasant. Areas like Kewaunee, Galva, Geneseo, Princeton, Galesburg. You'll likely see that snow wind down between about 6 and 7 o'clock. And then by 8 o'clock, already we're starting to see that clearing to the north. Those northwest winds take over as well, so that means it's going to be another wind and chilly day here as we head into Tuesday. So there's your snowfall amounts. Our latest run of our in-house model, a little more bullish on that 1 to 2 inch range here from the Quad Cities and points to the south. I think we could see an inch to inch and a half max in some locations, but most areas will stay less than 1 inch. But don't let your guard down because it still could be very slick out there, and of course it could be will be very chilly as our wind chills will dip around 10 to 15 degrees below zero here as we head into early Tuesday morning. As we take a quick check of our 7-day forecast, there's some good news here later this week, Morgan. We're talking temperatures that are going to exceed 40 degrees.
Ooh.
Haven't seen that in a while, I know. 47.
Is that Friday?
47 on Friday. We'll have to see how
We're
that
calling
plays
it
out.
sick.
Yeah, right? I know, yeah.
just
Someone's going to have to do the show because it's going to be beautiful outside. Extravaganza also happening this weekend. I think that's where I'm headed on Friday. So,
Oh, good.
They'll have plenty of cold temperatures for the weekend,
Oh.
that's for sure. So I don't think the ice will melt, but definitely getting above freezing before our next round of Arctic air moves in, heading into the weekend.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like that Friday
Yes.
temperature. It's time now for our wins of the weekend, where we kind of celebrate something that happened this weekend. I'm laughing already because mine is.
I was like,
Mine's a stretch. Mine's a stretch. Anyways, we'll start with you. It's probably good.
We have those weekends sometimes.
Yeah.
I had a very busy weekend. The last weekend we took a chill. Well, apparently we just made up for it this weekend.
Yeah.
I was telling you, my wife and I had a date night here. We actually went out. Normally on Fridays we order something in, but we decided to go out. We had a handful of restaurants
Heck
we
yeah.
wanted to choose from, but we chose Bent River and Moline. So I had a fantastic pork tenderloin, cheese curds, what's that called? Bacon wrapped jalapeno popper. So good.
You guys went all out.
And then we took the kids to their first gymnastics lesson here on Saturday.
Look at
They
oh my
had an
gosh.
absolute blast. We wanted to get them involved in something active, and they both said that they wanted to tumble. They do this on their own in the house. So
This
they
is
both had a blast. So we'll be returning next weekend. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so we're excited for them. They're excited as well.
That's adorable.
Yeah, good way for them to meet some friends as well. The class is expected to fill up here pretty quick this month. So
That's wonderful.
we're excited.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really fun to watch your kids do
I
that
can't
stuff.
wait,
It's
yeah.
just such a joy.
Yeah. All right, tell us about your win.
well, mine.
You're gonna
Okay,
laugh.
so I never, ever go out and get like coffee for myself.
Sure.
The really good coffee, like the Starbucks or one of like the local coffee places that are all so amazing.
I probably do it too much for myself.
I don't ever stop and do that. I just make
Yeah.
coffee at home.
Sure.
But on Saturday, Darbs really wanted to go to the coffee house, which is
Oh,
located in
great spot.
close to where I live.
Yeah.
And we have them on the show all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta get in there. I've met Paula there before. She
Yeah.
loves the coffee house. So I took Darby, and I'm like, why does she want to go to the coffee house so bad? And so because they have such good treats. They have like
They
baked
do.
goods.
My kids
And
are
so
fans
she got
too.
like a package of 2 homemade chocolate chip cookies.
The best.
That she and a little glass of water.
Of
and
course.
we just
Look at her.
we sat there, like we didn't take it home. We like went and sat down and we chatted, and she was trying to get her hands on my phone so she could watch something, and I'm like, nope. You wanted
We're
to go.
doing this old school, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you wanted to go to the coffee house with me and catch up. That's what we're doing,
Yeah.
girl.
Aw.
And yeah, so and we played truth or dare.
Oh, boy. Bet you that was interesting.
Yeah, so her dare was to get up in the middle, and she was supposed to do a little dance. She freaked out, so she just stood at the table and she like did one of these.
She did a little shimmy.
She goes, what my dare was, she goes, go up there and tell them that you don't like your coffee. I'm like, I'll take truth. I'll take truth.
Wow, hit him where it hurts. Man, she's onto something there.
Never gonna do that, okay, ever.
Hey,
So, yeah.
I count that as a good win.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, well, still to come on QCL, a business based in Maquoketa called Mississippi Valley Metals, how this family-owned metal manufacturing company can accommodate any of your roofing or structural needs.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Mississippi Valley Metals is a family-owned and operated business that offers complete metal solutions. Whether it's a house, a barn, a shop, or a building renovation, Mississippi Valley Metals has you covered from start to finish. Steve Kurtz is the owner, and he's joining us now. Steve, welcome back to the show today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, thank you for being here. Okay, so first of all, give us a little bit of background on the business. Again, you are located in Maquoketa, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So just to give a little bit of background, so we buy metal coils in, and then we roll form that into metal panels. We have a trim brake there. We can make custom trims up to 20-some feet. And then we stock a lot of 10-foot trims for contractors. They want something quick, or somebody bends a J-channel or something like that. We can provide that very fast. And then we also have lumber, screws, nails, everything like that there. So we try to provide a one-stop shop for a post-frame building, or for contractors especially.
Okay, so you pretty much have everything that's needed for a project is essentially what you're saying.
Yes, in the post-frame building, I mean, you can get very diversified when you get into a house and stuff like that, but for a normal post-frame building or garage, yes.
Okay, great. So again, we talked about metal roofing when you were here last time on the show, and as you just mentioned, today we're focused on post-frame buildings. So describe what that is for people who are unfamiliar. I mean, these are just big, giant buildings, essentially.
Right. So basically, the difference between we can do stud buildings as well, but post-frame buildings is you have posts either in the ground, or you have brackets that you fasten it to the concrete.
Okay.
And what we do is we have posts every 8 feet, and then you have girts running around the outside, and then you put metal on there. Makes a great cold storage building for farmers, hay storage.
Got it.
A lot of people use them for garages storage if they don't want to rent something or something. It's very fast, effective to keep stuff dry.
Yeah, and especially if you have like a unique piece of equipment, you know what I mean? Like, I understand you already talked about the ag and things like that, but you know what? A lot of times people have, like, maybe they've got boats or things like that, and this is just like a way to have your own storage for all of that.
That is correct, and a lot of people use it for, if they, let's say a homeowner wants a heated garage, just for his boat or a man cave or whatever.
Sure.
We provide the insulation that goes in there.
Cave, yeah.
We have what was called a liner panel that goes on the inside. It's all white. It makes a nice, clean finish.
Okay. Wow.
So
Very nice.
It's pretty much, very diversible.
Okay. So as you mentioned, you manufacture, you stock, you really provide everything that is needed on a post-frame building. So how are you able to be there as a business for kind of every step in this process? Like, how do you kind of keep up to date with your clients and your customers when it comes to all of it?
Okay. So I'd like to point out, like, contractors or even homeowners, say somebody wants a 40 by 64 post-frame building, and they call me. I have a software that we put this all into. And it provides a price normally within 15 minutes. I can have somebody on the phone and get them a price on a building, normally within 10 to 15 minutes.
There it is, yeah.
Yes, just like that there. And we can make it any designs, whatever they want, and then basically we can print that off, and it also gives them a layout of how the building gets put together.
Yeah.
And I think our benefit to contractors and homeowners is we have a list of contractors that buy from us, so we can give that list or provide a homeowner somebody to build their building,
right,
or a contractor that is looking for somebody to provide them materials. We deliver this material out to their job sites. So basically what we're trying to do is cut that headache down for
Yeah.
them so that they don't have so many things to worry about.
Absolutely, through everything that you can offer and the partnerships that you've created over the years.
That's correct.
Through your business, which is fabulous. Speaking of, just kind of describe the quality of materials that you use, because you really pride yourself on the quality of all of that.
Yes, I do. So when you go price a material at one place or another, a lot of people don't realize that they're pricing to maybe oranges with apples instead of oranges to oranges.
Sure.
And so what we do is we buy a #1 prime lumber is what we sell, which is a wane free, and it's close to the top. And then our metal panels and our paint system.
Right.
What made me...
Which you brought examples, like there's all kinds of colors and things like that.
Yes, and then we also have the textured kind, which is very unique and more residential than commercial or ag. But what I was going to say is the paint, I find it very interesting. Paint has changed dramatically over the last 30 years, and with the pigments that they use. And so a lot of contractors will know what the chalk and fade is.
Sure.
And that has so dramatically improved over the last years. And the reason I chose to go with the color that I did, I went to the paint fences in Florida, and I experienced firsthand on what colors fade the fastest.
So you did your research.
I did.
Wonderful. Okay, well, it's good to know that, you know, all that hard work has been put into this business and for your clients. And if you're watching right now, you want to learn more about how Mississippi Valley Metals can help with your next project, visit them on the web at MississippiValleyMetals.com. You can also give them a call at the number on your screen, 563-659-7999. As always, Steve, thanks for being here in the studio today.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much. And still to come on QCL, you have just a couple more weeks to check out the Hubble Telescope exhibit at the Putnam. After the break, we'll talk more about that and an opportunity to see movies about space on the giant screen.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The Putnam Museum and Science Center is putting the spotlight on some programming this month geared toward adults.
Yeah, and joining us from the Putnam, as always, with a rundown of events and activities is Scott Peak. Scott, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you here, as always. So we're actually in the final weeks of one of your newest exhibits, the Hubble Telescope exhibit. So sounds fascinating. What's the response been like from Quad Cities?
So, I mean, it was very helpful that, you know, we had our free month
Yes.
during the run of it. So a lot of people got to come in and see it. A lot of people love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I went again through it today just to kind of refresh myself.
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful. Look at that.
it's quite exciting. And, you know, there's a lot to look into. There's this one screen where you can go and look at all of the different galaxies that the Hubble has taken pictures of.
Wow.
And so it's this humongous screen. You can zoom in and check and look at all these different things. It's amazing.
Sounds out of this world.
Yeah.
Literally. Very good. See, Morgan knows space.
See, there you go.
No, I do not. We both know.
We all know that.
We both know I'm not good at space. But nonetheless, in honor of the exhibit, you are actually showing a couple of movies this month on the giant screen.
Yes.
And these are fabulous movies that are space related. So Hidden Figures being one of them, and that's this week.
Yep. On Thursday this week, we have Hidden Figures at 7 p.m.
Lovely.
And then next Thursday, we have Interstellar. So you have a history based on a true story film.
Yes.
And then you have kind of a otherworldly post-apocalyptic. I can't even say it.
Oh man, now I'm getting to apocalyptic. There you go. Yeah,
I love it. Okay,
Apparently my resolution should be to learn how to speak.
no, two really good movies, like I think nominated or award-winning movies that you can see on the giant screen at the Putnam, which is a really cool opportunity. But it's also part of the Open Late Thursdays at the Putnam, which we had kind of just talked about before the end of the year last year. But remind people, this is a cool opportunity to visit the museum after hours in a way.
And you know, it's not often that working people can go to the museum outside of the weekend.
Yeah.
So we added this Thursday so people can do that. It's a reduced price, $5 off, starting at 3:30, open till 8.
Yeah.
But then we've added these movies. And this Thursday, actually, we have the movie, but we also have the return of our History on Tap series, which took a break in December.
Too much going on in December.
I know. So we thought we'd just take a little break on that.
History on Tap is a really cool initiative that you guys have been doing now for several months. So this is another adult-focused thing where you can go to the museum, grab a beer or a cocktail or something and learn something.
Yeah, and this month it is John Looney. So if you're not familiar with who John Looney is, he is our local gangster. I was going to dress up like a gangster, but you know.
You should have.
Yeah, you usually greet us with.
But you know, that's my resolution for this year. Go to more movies.
Dress up more for TV.
More for TV. Right.
No, this is really cool because Roger, who's been on the show before, has done so much research, wrote a book, which you can see on your screen right now, Citadel of Sin, which is, and what the Road to Perdition was based on?
Based on that story of John Looney,
Oh, wow.
That is so cool. I mean, Roger's been on and talked about that with us in the past, but this is an opportunity for, anybody who's missed that to really hear in depth all of the research that he's done to put together that book. So he's going to be speaking at History on Tap this week. You got a full day at the Putnam on Thursday.
I know. And then the Thursday after all of that, once Hubble is gone, we have a unique Thursday as well.
The crafting.
So we have a crafting-friendly showing of Little Women.
I love it.
The 1994 movie. And so we'll have, lights up. We won't be sad if people chat.
Yeah, you can do a little
chat. You
chat.
can bring your craft that you've got going on. You can bring your knitting or your crochet. I know those are both things that you do, Morgan.
You have me nailed. I wish. I wish I could. I wish I knew about space. I wish I knew how to crochet. But there's time. Resolution.
Right. So the resolution related to the Putnam is, go out and do some different things you've never done before. Go to more movies or, travel.
No, I love it. And Little Women, I mean, full disclosure, is this one from '94 is one of my absolute favorite movies. I will always watch it when it's on TV. It's just, it's a good one to have there on the background if you're going to go and get something done.
Well, and that's the idea, is that it's sort of like, instead of being at your house, doing your thing, you can be here with a group of friends or whatever.
That's fun.
Like-minded crafters.
That's awesome.
Well, maybe you can go to the Putnam on the 30th and see the movie and then maybe learn.
I'll be the one in the front row that's like, shh.
learn a thing or two about knitting and crocheting.
I've only seen this 15 times.
Well, if you want to purchase tickets to any of the movies that we talked about today or take a look at this month's calendar of events and all the exhibits at the Putnam, head to putnam.org. Scott, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thank you for watching.
Your local news at 4 with Sharon is coming up next. Have a great evening.